The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. We're going to have a pretty good show today. No guests today, unfortunately. We had one cancellation at the last minute, so we will be looking tomorrow at the all-day trading session. And then Wednesday, I believe I have Jeff Hughes from Alpha Insights on. And on Thursday, I believe I have Tim Boss. Friday is open. I'm trying to get Joe DiNapoli back, but so far haven't been able to contact him. I posted the chart of the German Dax here, folks, and as you can see by looking at those green triangles, that is a 1-3-5 pattern. It is quite bearish. And it's very important that we pay attention to what's going on here in our market. Again, all I'm looking at is numbers. I don't look at any fundamentals at all, but I wanted to post this chart because it's so very, very important. And I'll tell you why. And this is from my perspective, of course. You'll notice here that, hold on just a second here, I've got to change something. Otherwise, I'm going to be in big trouble. And, there's what I want to be on. Okay, thank you very much. All right, now you can see this is again, this is a 1-3-5 pattern, but why this is important, folks, and I focused on this in a video over the weekend and also in the newsletter. The rally that we've had from that low that we made on Friday actually is a 382 retracement. What's important is we had the same thing happen in the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, and the Russell. All of them in one day made the 382 retracement. So the key today was that the market had to be higher. And folks, it's not acting well. It should have really, and it might later in the day, and if it does, I think it's great. But if we don't, and we take out those lows that we made on Friday, be careful, because that's major city. What was it from the what wasn't Sound of Music? What was the one from the Music Man? Yeah, the one from I'm trying to think of the name. Son of a gun. Anyway, it's Trouble in River City is what would be the problem. In other words, if we get below that low that we made on Friday, that's going to be really, really nasty, especially since we rallied 140 S&P points. We couldn't get above 4,100, a very important number. All we could do was make a 382 in all of them. Okay, now we might have Rich Anderson as a guest today because some big things have been happening around the world, especially related to the futures markets. And if you'll give me a second here, I want to get the wheat chart up because this is the one that is in the news all day today and last night. So we'll get this up here. I'll give you my the skinny on what I think is happening. Hold on here a second. And we'll get this up here. Okay, you can see that we had this Gartley farm right here on the close. We were almost right there. The problem was there was an article came out from India saying they had stopped exporting wheat. Now, India's not a big wheat exporter because they need all the wheat they can get. But they've stopped, and the market opened above here, folks. It opened in a new high ground, went limit up 70 cents. Now, I have Gartley sell signals today in soybean oil, corn, and soybeans themselves. Okay, now, and I had the order sitting in there, and they're working. Believe it or not. I mean, we got soybeans. They're up a little bit, but they've still held those numbers. So something's not right in this wheat market. I don't know why. December wheat is not up the limit. It's only up about 60 cents. But the July, evidently they must have one of the hedgers short. That would make it. That could really be really nasty. I will tell you this: in 1960, I think it was 73. Yeah, it was 1973. I happened to be long some July corn. I think I had 2 contracts left is all I had. And they came into delivery, okay? And this was, we didn't have the CFTC until 1985 or 75. So these brokers and exchange members, boy, starting for slow. I had to take some medication because of the Palo Verdes today, folks. So I'm only hitting on about 1 signal. The only blessing that I have today is that I don't have to be on for 5 hours and do, live trading, because boy, I would be under major duress. I feel okay. It's just that this darn thing really, really messes me up. But getting back to that story about Bunge, and I came in, and the corn limit at that time was 20 cents, okay? And I was in July corn, and the next options were September and December, and they were up the limit. And I got in. I said, "What's going on?" They said, "Well, Bunge is short corn, and they really got to cover. They don't have any to cover." He says, "You're up. I'm up." July corn was up 30 cents, so it was up more than the limit. There was no limit on July corn. Well, it got to 40 cents really quickly, and that was $2,000 times 2. So I told Roy, I said, "Roy, just get me out." And so I got out, and I booked another $4,000 profit. And folks, it never happened before, but we had a $1 move in corn on that day. It moved $1. They had Bunge so strapped for corn, they had to pay for it at any price. And that would have been a $10,000 move instead of 4,000. But I blessed the gods of trading and said, "Thank you for the 4,000, was happy." So things like this do happen. So that's it. Right now we have July wheat is still up the limit at 1247. But frankly, I tell you, I have an order to stop sell it if it goes below 1230. In other words, that if it drops below 1230, I would get short, and then I would look to 1238, not 1230. Larry, wake up. And so that's what I'm looking at today. So the big things happen now. The good and the bad of this is, if some other countries like Argentina or other Australia, what's another big exporter, but if they come out and say, "Look, we're no longer exporting our wheat, and we're going to be the only game in town," oh brother, we had better have a bumper crop, because if we don't, oh my goodness, it's going to be really hard to get into trouble. For the first time, by the way, I noticed that the supermarket shelves are not filled here in 2 of the supermarkets that I shop at. Paper goods are okay, but for some reason, well, I can understand the baby formula situation because everybody's panicked on that. But there's some things that are not, sparkling water's not coming in regularly like it should. And water is certainly not hard to get, but for some reason, sparkling water is. Anyway, so keep an eye on that, folks, because if we start seeing this, we got to prepare ourselves, because if we don't have a super good crop, I mean a bumper crop this year, there's going to be problems around the world, because India shutting down could be one. Next one could be, who knows. Hey, we'll be right back. 877-927-6648.
Inflation, where your purchasing power is eroded, there's no better place to protect your hard-earned money than in gold. Vista Gold's flagship asset is the Mount Todd Gold Project in the Northern Territory of Australia. This is Australia's largest undeveloped gold project. We are talking a world-class gold project in a Tier 1 mining district. This is a large-scale, low-cost project with significant existing infrastructure in a politically safe and friendly mining jurisdiction. Vista Gold just completed the Mount Todd feasibility study, which resulted in a 7 million ounce gold reserve and a 16-year mine life. All of this, combined with the approvals of all major operational as well as environmental permits. This distinguishes Mount Todd as an attractive, de-risk partner ready development stage gold project. Vista Gold trades on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol VGZ.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at tfnn.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, I posted the chart of the July soybeans. As you can see here, it's a beautiful 6-to-1-8 Gartley pattern. It hit that number, and it sold off about 10 cents. Basically, oh, brother, I hope you're listening, Mr. SS, but tell not to worry about that. That is not a problem. I don't want to handle this right now. I've got a slight problem with one of our folks here, not TFNN people, but someone in the den here is causing a great deal of havoc to me and a couple of my friends, and I am not going to put up with that stuff very long. So we're going to see what's going to be a history or a mystery, but we're going to get this thing taken care of. I'm not going to let one person upset. Folks, you can see this pattern here. I put it on, and at the same time, I knew that wheat was going to be trading near limit up, and yet I still did it. And the reason why I did it was everything was perfect. And the thing is, I put a 3-cent stop on it. In other words, if it went 3 cents, $150 above the 618, I was history. Well, right now it's got a 10-cent profit. So what I've done now is I put my stop at break even. July wheat is still up the limit, but December wheat is trading freely. The reason why I did it, folks, I don't know the news. All I do is look at the patterns. I can tell you stories. Some of them I've told you over the years about. My favorite one, of course, was in 1976. It was June, I believe, and report came out on soybeans. It was so bullish that the ticker tape for Reuters. Remember, we didn't have all this fancy stuff of all instantaneous data and everything. We got everything off of a ticker tape or a Bunker Rainbow machine. But Reuters said that the only soybeans that will be available this year will be in the Smithsonian in a glass case. And when I read that, I said, oh my God, I said, I got to put a stop in on this stuff. And it was supposed to be up the limit 3 days in a row. It opened basically unchanged instead of being up the limit, and the market went limit down for 5 days. And that changed my whole life because I had cashed out right on the high, and I was at Bucks Up, and I was back in the game big time. And 2 months later, I was working for Drexel Burnham, running their commodity department. And so that's neither here nor there. So when these news things come out, I'm not as scared of them as long as I can protect myself. And when I saw the action, in other words, I would look at the corn market. The corn market is much bigger than the wheat market. And corn went exactly to the 618. I think 803 was the number, and I think the high was 805. And now it's trading at 796 or something like that. So, that's a tradable thing. I'll talk about these things tomorrow during the live trading session, and we're going to probably have some squirrely things going on in the market. But let's get back to what's really important to you folks, and that's the stock market. And I really believe with a lot of conviction here that what happened here on Friday was extremely, extremely important. And the reason for that, folks, is because the numbers were so absolutely spot on. And let me just give you a heads up of what I think is happening. And remember, this is my 2 cents worth. So if you pay more than that, you've overpaid. But you'll look at this. This is the daily E-mini S&P, and you can see the 61% retracement. Remember, the high came back in here. There's the ABCD from January 4th, and then we started down. There was the first retracement. Then we make the ABCD down, then the ABCD up. And what we've done now is made an ABCD down. Look at the 382 retracements, folks. I've talked about these every day when it's happening. And look what happened yesterday, 382. They couldn't take out the highs of yesterday, folks. Friday. That's a bearish sign. They've got to do that because this is a major cycle bottom. That's ABCD from everywhere. We had it in the NASDAQ, the Russell, the S&P, and the Dow Jones. All of them made ABCDs. And not only that, you had a perfect pattern in Apple Computer. I've showed this chart. Look at it yourself when you have time. But it's a perfect ABCD, and it rallied pretty good from 139 to 147 or something like that. The problem is it can't get any higher than the 382. And boy, I tell you, if this thing fails, it's big trouble. And the bond market is rallying. That's like putting gasoline on a fire, trying to put it out, because the bond market's a disaster. Just waiting for reasons to sell the darn thing. So the only retracement we've got so far was that when we got up to the 140, was 143, which was a really substantial bounce, but it couldn't get above that. So these things are acting pretty good, Okay, all right. I got the message, Mr. TJ. Thank you or Mr. Jacob. I appreciate that, and I will take care of it. And I'm getting ready to hold on one second, folks. I want to share one other chart with you that I think is very, very important. I'll get this up here so you can see all of these ABCDs. Now, this is the S&P cash. Let me get this up here. And then we'll be able to see it here pretty good. Okay. All right. All right, this is the S&P cash, folks. And I want you to notice this is the very large ABCD here. A, B, C, D. Okay? Comes right down where it's supposed to. And look at the ones on the way down. A, B, C, D. And then we had this really strong rally, and it can't get higher than the 382. That number in the S&P, folks, on the E-mini S&P is at 4050. If we get above that, we are probably going to have a 5 to 10 day rally. But if we don't, look out below, because it's going to be pretty nasty. That's for sure. Okay, now let's get next on the agenda here is I want to talk about the euro. I hope I have enough time. I probably will bring up some more charts on the euro after the break if needed. But as you can see here, this market is heading down. We've broken the 104 level. We're trading below 104 right now, as I saw, and that gives us a price objective of those two yellow triangles at the 78% level comes in at par at 100. Folks, if it doesn't hold 100, you're going to see the market. You can see the larger pattern, and that's going to take it way down there, folks. When we get below par in the euro, and it's been below par. my grandson was born in 2000, and he's 22 now, and it was below par at that time because I was buying gold for him. At that time, I was buying a coin. I was buying him a coin a month because it was so cheap. It was, I think, at Cougar Rands at that. I did buy Cougar Rands. I think I paid under $280 or $240 or under $300. So it was pretty exciting. But anyway, let's move on here to take another look at a couple here that I think are very, very important. And of course, being with many friends we have across the pond over in the UK about the British pound. I want to get this up here. And then I believe we have a music coming in to pay a few bills. And then we'll talk about it. You can see here we're breaking down hard, no bounce at all. We're heading to at least 120, maybe lower in the British pound. We'll be right back, folks. 877-927-6648.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting Tfnn.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN has just launched their new trading room, the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. And now they are expanding their reach with the Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. In the Tiger's Den, you can look over the shoulders of Tom O'Brien and the other TFNN hosts while they analyze charts during their live Tiger TV programs, and join an interactive trading community with hundreds of members exchanging ideas. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day, even at night and on the weekends. The Tiger's Den at Discord is accessible on mobile or tablets as well, so it's always at your reach. To sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders, just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, and I wanted to alert you to something that just the old bells, whistles just started blowing here on the TFNN show for Larry Pesavento, and that is we just hit a trade above $12, 112. We got to 112.01. That's a very, very important number, folks. So please, please watch that one very, very closely, because if we get above 112.50 in this, we could be looking at a move that could. Remember, the old high was 130. We're not even close to that, and heating oil is lagging badly. but the gasoline is going up mainly because of a seasonal that's strong there. But watch that number that we just hit at 112. It's going to be quite exciting in my opinion. Now we've got the wheat is still limit up, but the gold, the soybeans and the corn are holding relatively well. Let me see where we are. Yeah, well, we're trading at 801 in the July corn. We sold it at 803. It got down to 99. We got to stop now at 806. So if we get there, we'll be out of the trade and move on, to the next one of what we're watching here. So, but that one just here we're above the 112.01 now, folks. We had a high 112.07. So anything above 112. Like I said, 112.50 would say this could be a valid breakout in that, but it doesn't. So far, it'll have to see if that's going to be the case. Now, the other one is the gold. We went along to gold on that pullback last night, and we had a 3 drive to a bottom pattern in the gold. We've rallied a good $30 off that bottom, and whether we're going to find out whether, of course, the harmonic number in that is 32. We had a low of 85, and you add 30 to that. That takes you to 1815, and that was the high today. So that's why the gold is acting the way that it is. It's just a pattern that we see occasionally. I want to show you another one that is very, very important, and this is the one with the E-mini S&P, and this is current, folks. I'll just get this up here so you'll be able to see it. This is what's important about this. From a technical perspective, as we get to look at this. Okay, now there's the S&P. Okay, Rich is unable to be on. I had Rich Anderson come on as a guest today because of the thing with India, but he's in a place where he can't be reached. He could do it, but the cell phone is so bad where he is that he can't do it. But we'll have him on again soon. Anyway, that thing with the Indian stuff is it's all about weather. Their temperature hit 110, and that was the hottest weather in 140 years, they say. So that's a pretty high number. We hit 100 yesterday here in Tucson for the first time, and that's about around the 15th of May is when we get our first 100-degree day. That also happened to be the day, if you went out last night and saw that lunar eclipse, I hope you go on the internet and look at it to see how beautiful it was, because it was really very, very special. Now, as I show you this is the, it's actually a 120-minute chart, I believe. No, I think it's only maybe an 30-minute chart. You can see here the ABCD pattern. The key here is to watch this level right here, which is at 39.20. That's a 382 retracement, and it's also an ABCD. If we hold that number by 10 points, then this thing's got a chance to really rock and roll to the upside. But boy, if we start failing below 39.20 by very much, ooh, that's not a good sign. So this is what I'm watching today. That's a very, very important bottom down here, folks. It's just extremely important. The reason why, that sequence that I talked about for so long, where the market topped on the May the 5th and you add 17 days to it, takes you down to the 22nd. Well, that's going to be a week from yesterday. So if this market breaks today, that means we're going to be down on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and probably one day we're going to see a day of more than 1,600 points down in the Dow. And the reason why I say that, the biggest one, biggest down move we've had so far has been 1,000. You multiply that times 1.618, that gets you to 1618. And so you add that, so you'd be down about 1,618 points or more on the next bad day that we have, really bad day. Anything over 1,000, it'll go to 16,018 would be my guess. Not 16,018, 1,618 points down one day, coming soon to a theater near you. Well, remember, folks, that's my opinion, and I am seldom wrong, but often in doubt. No, wait, I'm often in doubt and seldom wrong. Anyway, that's what we're watching, so I think it's important to take a look at it. Now, I wanted to bring this chart up here of the Euro crude oil. Just give me 1 second, folks. I need to clear my throat just a tiny bit. And this is this I'll show you why I was excited about the crude oil, because I had an order setting up there. Hold on one second here. Okay, here's our crude oil. You can see all the numbers that we've got up in here, folks, and that we're looking at that 112 area very closely. That ABCD is 112.36, so that's why I was watching it so closely. Now, whether it's going to work or not, I don't know, but right now it's trading at 111 something, because I just saw the woo. Wow, it's dropped a whole, didn't drop that much? Nah, it's only dropped about 40 pips, no big deal. Anyway, so that's why that 112 number is so very, very important. So that's why I keep it in, watching it. So hope that helps. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at there. Okay, let's get on to another one that I think someone's asked a question about, and that is the gold market. Last night we made a slightly lower low. Let me get it up here so you'll be able to see it. I think we're going to have some really strong support here in gold when we get down to the 786, which is at 1865. Last night's low was 1885, and like I mentioned, we rallied $30. That gave you a chance to sell it short because it was right at a 382, that other high, and down it's come. But if you'll notice here, this is what's important here, is we have this weekly chart here. Excuse me, let's try it again. It is a weekly chart of gold, and as you can see here, we got the ABCD entered right here. We had a good rally, and then we took out that low by just a little bit, but we didn't get down to the 1765 yet, but I think it's coming. The low, we've had two lower lows now, one at 91 and another one at 85, and we'll probably have another one at 65. So watch that one down here, because if we get to that one, that's going to be a very, very low risk. And those are the kind that you like to go after, because that's the one that is really, really important. Folks, I have a slight problem here today, and it's due to someone that is causing some problems at TFnn in the trading den. And I'm going to have to complain, because the people, look, folks, let's just get this right. You have your right to say anything you want, okay? You can, everybody has an opinion, and they should have an opinion. They should be able to express it. But when you start being really vindictive, and I mean really vindictive, and saying things about people that you can't prove, it's better to keep your mouth shut and be thought a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt. We'll be right back, boys and girls.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at tfnn.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, we're back, folks. I've got to post this chart because this really describes what we have going on here in the market. So give me a second here, and I'll get this up. This comes from our good friend, the Zachy Man out of Florida. Just a second here. Thank you, Zach, for sending us on, folks. This is known as the dead cat bounce. As you can see here, you get a 2 or 3 day rally, and then down you go again. So this is what it's looking like. Now, the only thing that's going to change that is if today or tomorrow we get above 4050 in that S&P E-mini, then you got a chance. That number in the Dow is up about 500 points from where we are right now. So that's why it's so very important, folks. It could be that dead cat bounce, and those are the most vicious of all. Looks like a beautiful bottom coming in like we had on Microsoft and Apple and Google. I mean, I posted all of these on Friday showing you the ABCD patterns, but they're not bouncing. This market should be screaming to the upside, especially with the news. I mean, you know, other than the fact that it's hot over in India and they stopped exporting wheat, the rest of it, you know, it's very, very friendly to the market, and yet it's not really moving it up very much. And the reason why I want to pay attention to this is going back to that same scenario that I was looking at, and that is this market like it was here in 1987. You'll see here that you have this, we're down 17 days. Now, this was our May 5th. So the 17th day is coming in here this week. So this is what's going to be interesting this week. We should be down really hard if the thing is correct. And then it's going to be one of the best buying opportunities we've had in quite some time, in my opinion, coming at a pretty substantial level, because we've had an ABCD pattern that has completed in the NASDAQ and also in the Dow Jones. It has not completed in the S&P as yet, but that's always that possibility, that outstanding. Now that makes it very good. Now, on a social note, Mr. Robert Prechter of the Elliott Wave Analysis folks, I want to get this up. You're going to get a kick out of this picture. This goes back. This one's only about 10 years old. They were having a meeting here. I think it was in Las Vegas. As you can see, the guy on the left there with the arrow pointing, that's Robert Prechter. And in his letter, he gave great accolades to our retiring guru here, Mr. Arch Crawford, over here on the right-hand side. And I spoke with Arch about it, and he wasn't even aware that Prechter had come in his newsletter. He's talking about Jim Dines and then also Arch Crawford and other people that had either quit or passed away. And Arch just basically retired. He just said, I ran out of gas. And he said, I just don't enjoy it like I used to, so it's time to hang it up. So I still enjoy it as much as I did the first day I started trading, folks. So I think that's good. And I know one thing, it keeps me It keeps me awake at night sometimes, and it also keeps me awake during the day when I'm looking at these patterns, because I enjoy trading so very, very much, and it's been good to me. So what else can I say? I don't know what else to say. All right, let's move on here to something here. I want to show the chart here of, I think it's Amazon. Yeah, here's Amazon. This is one, you talk about these major cycles being hit, folks. Let's get this up here. They're all the same. I posted these before. They're right in the newsletter. Just go to the section on FANGs and you'll see all of these things. But I wanted to bring this one to you so you'll be able to see. Now, this has been in the news a lot, but look at this perfect ABCD to the exact dollar, folks. This is 4 digits. Are you kidding me? You got to respect these numbers. And the problem is this thing should be screaming to the upside. Thank you, Billy. Oh, I tell you, that Palo Verde today, oh, wow. I made the mistake of going out and getting the mail early. And I had to walk by the trees. And they said, we're going to bushwhack him. And they certainly did. I'll be fine. But right now, my throat gets a little messed up and stuff like that. Now, there's one stock here that has been absolutely massacred here. Let's get this out. I just want to give you an idea. Hold on just a second here. There we go. There's the number I wanted to see. Okay, hold on just a second here, boys and girls. Market's really trying to hold up. I have to give it a great deal of credit. All right, now let's give me this one up here. I wanted to show you, this is really an important chart for a lot of different reasons. Okay, now there's the chart of Netflix, folks, over pretty much the past year. Now this has been decimated, right? 700 down to basically 160 or something like that. Well, I heard a guy on Bloomberg this morning saying, hey, it's no big deal, and I'm going to show you why he said that. I pulled this up from someone that sent it to me, but I know it's pretty much correct from what I saw on the Bloomberg. But this is the actual price of Netflix, folks. When it was down to $3 and it went to $760, this is not much of a correction. If you own thousands and thousands of shares, sure, it's went from 700 to 170 or something like that, but you still got a lot of money left. It's not like the one with the crypto where they take everything away from you, and there's still stories going on about that. So I think it's important that we realize that you got to be careful in these markets. I still think we're going to have a pretty significant break here this week in the cryptos, and then also in the stock market. And so that's what I'm looking at. The only thing that'll change my mind is a move above 40.50 in the S&P. Then I'll say, yep, something is not right, and I will relinquish the trading crown to somebody else, and I will stand aside. So those are the ones that I'm paying very, very close attention to today, folks, because they've got a lot of profit opportunity in them if they unfold like the way we had hoped. Okay, now I had one other question someone had asked about, and that was, of course, about the Tesla, the quietest car in the world, and we'll get this up here to see that. Here again, you're going to be seeing this same pattern, the beautiful ABCD to the downside, and, it started to rally. As you can see already, it gapped up at perfect bottom. Look at that bottom. The ABCD bottom is right there in red at the very bottom, and there it is, within just a few points of a stock that's trading for around 800. So it doesn't work all the time, folks, but Fibonacci numbers work most of the time. That's what the key is, and you got to discover when you're wrong, and that's when you've got to get out. So that's neither here nor there, but I think it's important to remember that. I just heard that my crude oil just made a new high above 1220. Let me double check and see if that is correct. Shouldn't be too hard to double check it, would it, Larry? Hold on just a minute. I'm actually cheating, folks. I'll just get this when we come up to the next break, which is coming very, very shortly. I'll try to bring up to your attention where the market should be. Remember, the key level, folks, is 40.50. If we can get the S&P to close above 40.50 today, That'll make everybody happy, including me. 877-927-6648.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
With market volatility roaring back in April, Larry Pesavento has just announced a 5-hour live trading webinar coming up on May 17th. Larry Pesavento is a 56-year trading veteran and has mastered his trading skills through many different market fluctuations. Join Larry on May 17th as he hosts a live 5-hour trading webinar from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Time, giving you insight into how he analyzes the market and decides his plays. Larry will delve deep into the ABCD trading pattern, explaining how to structure your trading day, the times most likely to generate signals, which signals to ignore, and how to use the pattern to mitigate risk. In this all-day 5-hour live trading webinar, take a seat by Larry's side as he trades the markets real time, including the Dow and S&P 500E mini, crude oil, natural gas, gold, treasury bonds, wheat and soybeans, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar yen, and more. If you've ever wanted to get inside the mind of a market master, you cannot miss this live trading webinar. To sign up today, just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks. As part of the market, the Russell is up a little bit, and the Dow's up a little bit. The Nasdaq and the S&P are, I think the S&P is about unchanged, but the key level, as I've said several times, is 40.50. We've got to get that done by today or tomorrow. Otherwise, that dead cat bounce will be really not a bounce at all. People will see it for what it's worth, and they're going to run for the hills. But those are just a few of the things that I'm watching today. Because they've acted, really quite nicely, as you've seen from some of these charts. They're just literally spot on. Okay, now I've had a question here about we talked about the wheat, and the question is regarding the corn. I wanted to get this up here to show you the corn market that we were looking at here. This is, I hope this is it. There. Yep, there it is. Okay, as you can see, this is the corn market, and then what we did is we had a little bit higher high here when the crop thing came out with Russia, and also the weather from India, and then what happened is the market sold off, held relatively well, and then it's come back a little bit. But if we close above 813 in the crude oil, then that's going to tell us that we got to stand aside. That would be a break-even trade. And I didn't post this to anybody because I didn't want to mess around with that wheat situation going on, because wheat is up the limit, but it's still trading limit up. There's people coming in, selling and buying at that level. So I just didn't want to expose any risk to anyone. I mean, because I know a lot of people get this stuff a little bit late, and then you have to put your stop in. That increases your loss factor, and I don't like increased loss factors. That just doesn't set well with me. So keep informed on what's going on with this, because if you start seeing these all the time, what's going to happen and what their goal is, everybody that happens to be one of the people that operate in that agricultural area gets these beautiful pendants and coins and badges that they can wear, and they're solid gold, so they're worth a lot of money. Let's take a little break here. 877-927-6648.